Welcome to today's Garage Devotional. I'm Pastor Ted from Connect Church in Ventura. We're still in our series, A Lift to Help Us Stay on the Road. We'll probably be changing that either this week or next week, so look to that as we make a change and go some few different directions. But today we're still here, and today I wore my older Mopar hat, and those are the older colors of the Chrysler, the Mopar brand. Today's verse is 1 Corinthians 16 through 14. It says, "Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love." While these two verses employ four military metaphors in it, the focus, though, is doing everything in love and through love, and that will lift us up and lift others up. So the context, the central context is doing everything we do in and through love. But to do that, we need to look at these military metaphors of action in our life. First is be watchful. Be aware of the traps and potholes on the road of our lives. This can be described as detours that we might hit, or choosing our fleshly nature over our spiritual nature, in addition to maybe this purposeful attacks of the enemy and his fallen angels that want to knock us out. We are to be alert. We are to be aware. We are to be watchful. We are to stay awake spiritually. How many of us have driven when we were exhausted and found ourselves falling asleep at the wheel? Have you done that? I think all of us have at times. We shouldn't have been driving at that time. Hopefully, you did not get in an accident. We need spiritual and physical rest to not crash, as well as finish our journey. So being watchful, staying alert, but to stay alert, we need to have regular times of physical and spiritual rest. Second one that he shows us here is have courage, or be courageous. Through Jesus and the empowerment of the Holy Spirit, you and I are strong, and you and I have courage. He gives us courage. Courage is acting in the face of fear or defeat. Courage is acting in the face of fear or defeat. The scriptures tell us that the battle is Jesus's. The scriptures also tell us that we are overcomers. So we don't have to worry about it. The battle is in Jesus' hand, and he gives us the ability and the empowerment to overcome. The third metaphor here is to be mature, or live like an adult. It says live like a man, but it's better translated, live like an adult. If you are honest, and I am honest, we must admit that there are times that we don't act like adults. We want to take our toys at times and go and play somewhere else, or we look at others who challenge us and we don't agree with, so we want to go somewhere else. We want to take our toys and go away. But living in community requires us to live with others who are different from us, who have different views and opinions from us. It involves compromise and embracing diversity and agreeing to disagree. To do this, we need to be mature. So we need to keep growing in maturity, spiritual maturity, and we'll never reach the total end of that until we step into the presence of Jesus, but we need to be mature and live like a mature Christian adult. The last metaphor is love everyone unconditionally. These two verses are anchored in unconditional love that puts others before ourselves. So I want to encourage us. We need to love unconditionally and prefer others before ourselves. We need to act like and live up to be mature spiritual men and women in Jesus. We need to do that. We need to have courage and know that we can be courageous in and through Jesus and the empowerment of the Holy Spirit, and we need to be watchful. That's the message today. Let me give you the car of today. It is the Superbird. It's the Plymouth Superbird, which is a sister car of the Dodge Charger Daytona. Basically, these cars were made to go on the race circuit, but the only way they could get them into NASCAR was to build at least 1,920 of them to be sold to the public. Now, they toned down some of the specs on the engines to do that, but they were fast cars in that time period. The car's shape was made from a wind tunnel. So they wanted to make sure that that car was aerodynamic and stayed low to get the maximum speed out of that car. Some people think that the wing on the back, with the height of it, was determined because of that differential to keep the wind through it. But really, it was determined by being able to get the trunk open. They had to get a higher wing on the back of them. But they came with three options of engines. 440 with 375 horse, a 440 with more horse, but then the massive one was the 426 cubic inch Hemi, which had 425 horsepower in that. Yeah, ironically, the power of the Superbird was able to propel that car from 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, but the car could reach 200 miles an hour. Man, incredible car. Let me share it with a picture of it with you here. I'm not fond of this design totally, but I think it's a great design, and it's really sharp. Can you see it there? I'm doing kind of a side hit note here. Wanted to get out of the light. There it is. That is the Plymouth Superbird. That's it for today. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.